Hello everyone, welcome to Toyeen Talks. Enjoy. Until I'll see you in my next video. Stay safe, stay blessed. I love you all. Bye.
ẹjọ́ tó play olórí ẹbí ẹjọ́ ẹ jẹ́ kí n gbọ́ ẹjọ́ sá ẹ má bínú torí mo rí pé tí fẹ́ máa lọ kí lẹ́sìn. And again oníléeṣẹ́ máa lọ sí Inquest ní on the 30 náà.
Kò lára ọ̀tá ń lè máa lọ.
Okay, that's good.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí n máa lọ ọ̀rẹ́ mi kan 2 hours náà mo ṣe.
Kò sí wàhálà ń gbà yẹn tó bá dọ̀la ń gbà yẹn ẹ pẹ̀lẹ́ tẹ̀ wọ́n lójú yín ẹ tẹ̀ try
ọ̀rẹ́ mi
kò easy. Wùmí ṣé o ti rí gbogbo tó ń dálẹ̀ báyìí òun flẹ́ńjọ́ òun drive mo rí fídíò rẹ bí tó ti ń drive tó ń jó nínú mọ́tò ẹ̀ mo ní ayé Wùmí ó mà ti da tó báyìí ìyẹn náà ìwọ Wùmí náà tó bá jẹ́ pé bàbá Mohbad ní í sìn ẹ ti gbélú ẹ ti gbàjọ ẹ ti máa pariwo orí burúkú kiri pé
Adùfẹ́ come up if I see your.
ẹ ti máa pariwo òṣìkiri pé bàbá ti ń ṣe gbá bàbá ti ń ṣàwò ó nìyẹn ìwọ Wùmí rádára játijàti yẹn.
Power tap fún mi gift látàárọ̀ tí mo ti wà níbí nobody give some people ò fún mi ní some gift ẹ wọ̀dọ̀ mi bóyá dry dry mi nìkan lẹ̀ kí n fún ní gift bá ẹ ṣe máa ń fún àwọn others. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ti fẹ́ bu wa wọ́n náà ń gba gift wọ́n dẹ̀ máa ń bu wa ni.
gift mélòó náà ń fún yín àìmọye àwọn tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ṣí platform torí Mohbad tó ń fún ní lion tó ń fún ní oríṣiríṣi nǹkan wọn ò dé lọ máa bá wọn yẹn mélòó náà ń gbà bíbà yìí tá máa fún wọn ní lion tó ti torí ọ̀rọ̀ Mohbad náà fi wà ní platform tó ń ṣorí burúkú.
ìjọba ń pè kí ni ẹ torí Àdùfẹ́ torí ẹ̀yin fáǹsì ni.
ẹ ṣe wàhálà sá.
The court. Counsel, at this point, any question that would attack her character.
Ẹ máa mute so everybody ní láti mute tẹ́ bá fẹ́ gbọ́ tẹ́ bá fẹ́ gbádùn ẹ̀. Àwọn mi ṣíjú ẹ̀jọ̀ bá mute everybody mute please tẹ́ bá fẹ́ gbádùn ẹ̀. User. Mommy ṣíjú ẹ̀jọ̀ bá mute Fọláṣadé mute. Now, there you go.
The court. Counsel, at this point, any question that would attack her character should not be asked. We are here to find out what caused the death of the deceased. There was an allegation that on that same Monday night, you had a quarrel with your husband. It was not a quarrel. I was not the one who had a quarrel with him. What happened regarding the issue of the Canadian visa that he got without letting you know? And you were angry with him? I was not angry with him. My father-in-law and I used to be best of friends. We would eat from the same table and drink from the same cup. He was my best friend, my right hand in my marriage. With faith, with him and God, I had my baby, Liam. He walked up to me and said the Holy Spirit told him that myself, him, and my husband should fast for 7 days, and we would have a baby, which we did. While I was pregnant, he would bring fruits, vegetables, and foodstuffs to me. We were best of friends, and I did not kill my husband. My husband loved me so much. I know that all these allegations against me are from my father-in-law. God sees my heart. He was my best friend. Sometimes I would call him to visit me whenever I was bored. That was how close we were.
Thank you.
I'm not trying to hide that I am guilty, but I am just surprised and disappointed about so many things happening. The only issue between me and my father-in-law was when I had my baby, and he told me to give him the placenta. I did not ask you those questions. Please let me talk. I know where this attack is coming from. Ma, you are also a woman. Please let me talk. I never wronged him. I loved him like my father. I was the one who started this coroner inquest. The only way you can get justice for your husband, whom you so much love, is to listen to the questions and answer the ones being asked. He said I was fighting my husband for a Canadian visa, which never happened. That is the answer. Just answer the questions you are being asked, because when you open the door for more questions, you might not like it at the end of the day. There have been so many allegations. Let the allegations be asked, then you would answer one step at a time. A lot of lies have been coming, and I wanted to clear the air. Everybody knows that, and the court sympathizes with you. Please calm down. How old are you? I am 24. I myself, my first daughter is about 25 years old. I can feel your pain and what is going on in your head. A lot. They want to kill me, but I will not die for my child. You have to calm down to answer these questions so that justice will be served. Please face the court and answer the questions. Do you want your family member to get you water? Yes. I recap the question. On Monday, 11th of September, 2023, there was a quarrel between you and your husband about the fact that he got a Canadian visa for himself without letting you know? Nothing like that happened. That day, we were just chatting, and we see each other as best friends. We usually talk about everything, and sometimes we stay in the room for a week. Sometimes we don't step out for 2 days. The day we talked about the Canadian visa, I was the one who posted it on social media. Nobody knew about it. That day, we were talking about wanting to have our baby outside the country, but we didn't have enough money at the time. When he left the label last year, he left with 0 naira, and when I had my baby in April, there was not enough money.
Sherry, Ninu voice note tẹ́ gbọ́ yìí. Newton tó jáde ń bẹ̀ tí mo fẹ́ kẹ́ take note. Àǹtí Àdùnní, sorry, Àǹtí Àdùfẹ́. Ṣé ǹjẹ́ gbọ́ pé Wunmi gan ní injury?
Ṣé nínú voice note yẹn kò sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ o?
Àní ẹni sọ̀rọ̀. Ǹjẹ́ gbọ́ rí pé Wunmi gan ó ní bleeding, ó bleed, ó ní àpá lára. Bí mo bá ṣe lápá lára. Ìyẹn ni everybody ò gbọ́ rí. Ìyẹn ni kẹ́ farabalẹ̀ kẹ́ máa listen. Newton tó jáde update ní update láti update ní brain wa tó jáde ń bẹ̀. Àwọn nǹkan tá a ti ní láti update àwọn nǹkan tá a ti ní tẹ́lẹ̀. Káhádì mọ́ òun ló jáde ń bẹ̀ so kẹ́ lè máa mú point yẹn.
Okay.
He said he didn't want his child to turn 1 in this country, and that he wanted our child to school abroad. I kept postponing him. That day he said he didn't want the baby to grow up in this country. He knows the kind of music he does, and many people don't love him. He mentioned that ever since we had our baby, he hadn't posted him on social media, and he said a lot of people were watching him.
Tí ó bá jẹ́ pé wọn tí gbọ́ ni ṣẹ́rí kìíní tẹ́ bá gbọ́ tán mo máa padà wá ṣe analysis lé lórí. But mi ní fẹ́ distract yín kẹ́ lè gbádùn ẹ̀. Torí tí n bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ analysis ẹ̀ ó lè jọ́la ni máa ṣe analysis lé lórí. Lágbára Ọlọ́run analysis wà lórí ẹ̀ because there's àwọn irọ́ àtàwọn òótọ́ kan tó jáde nínú bẹ̀.
If they couldn't get to him, they might get to his child or me. I used to ask him why he wouldn't post me on social media, and he'd say he was trying to protect us. That day, he almost knelt down, begging me. He was very emotional. He didn't even want me to sleep. He wanted to play with me. I said I was tired, so he held our baby to his chest and slept until the next day. There was no quarrel about the Canadian visa because he knew I didn't like leaving him. And he didn't like leaving me either. But for our son's sake, I had to summon the courage to agree to leave for our safety. Nobody knew on social media.
Oléyàn kì í fira yín sílẹ̀. Nínú voice note ẹjọ́ ẹ kúnlẹ̀. Kì í fira yín sílẹ̀. But wọ́n ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ ẹ pé kí ló pa ọkọ ẹ olóòmọ̀. Kí lẹ ta ló sọ ọmọ mi láti ọ̀ṣẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ sí ni?
Mo sọ̀rọ̀ mo ní o pause kò pause ń bẹ̀ yẹn because point kan jáde ń bẹ̀ ni mo ṣe tó bá máa ṣáná.
You are allowed to tell me to pause tẹ́ bá rí point tọ̀dọ̀ yín náà.
Okay.
Ẹ má bínú. Okay.
Okay.
Ẹ you are allowed to tell me to pause tẹ́ bá rí point tọ̀dọ̀ yín náà. Ẹ má bínú. Okay. Ẹ you are allowed to tell me to pause tẹ́ bá rí point tọ̀dọ̀ yín náà.
Okay, ṣó mọ̀ pé inú ti Démọ́lá sọ nígbà tí tóun náà fi note síta ó ní ṣé Túndé nìkan ló mọ̀nà Canada ló mọ̀nà Dubai pé tó bá máa travel Túndé ló máa mú lọ tó bá máa lọ bíbáyìí Túndé ló máa mú lọ ìyẹn ni kò lè mọ̀ pé yes nítorí travelling gangan Canadian visa pé ọmọdé yìí ń travel ìyẹn gangan náà tún wà nù tán fi ṣekú pa kò sì rí pé enviness àti jealousy pé kò mú wọn travel àfi local ló máa ń mú wọn lọ tán bá máa lọ international kò mú wọn lọ ìyẹn pẹ̀lú ẹ̀.
kọ́ dẹ̀ lọ máa lọ sí local àti local tó ń lọ àti international àwọ̀ ẹni tó máa kó wọn lọ ń sìn bóyá mi mo máa jìyà ẹ ni o bóyá àwọn lọ́ máa jìyà ẹ ni o ẹnu ẹ lájọ wà yẹn. Let's go.
Media that he had a child or a wife until he died. There was a reason for hiding ourselves. If you have any additional requests or further changes, feel free to ask. I recap the question. On Monday, 11th September 2023, there was a quarrel between you and your husband regarding the fact that he got a Canadian visa for himself without letting you know? Nothing of such happened. That day, we were just chatting. We saw each other as best friends and usually talked about everything. Sometimes we stayed in the room for a week or didn't step out for 2 days. When we talked about the Canadian visa, I was the one who posted it on social media. Nobody knew about it. That day, we discussed having our baby outside the country, but we didn't have enough money. When he left his label last year, he left with 0 naira. And when I had my baby in April, we didn't have enough money. He said he didn't want his child to turn 1 in this country. He wanted our child to go to school outside Nigeria, and I kept postponing the idea. That day, he said he didn't want the baby to grow up here, especially considering the kind of music he did and the people who didn't like him, how I would feed as a stay-at-home mom if I traveled without him. He said jokingly that he'd use his lawyer to ensure I was taken care of and signed an undertaking not to cheat me or our son. That Monday, we talked till 3:40 a.m. on Tuesday. He didn't even want me to sleep. He just wanted to be with me. There was nothing like fighting about the Canadian visa because I didn't like leaving him and he didn't like leaving me either. But for our child's safety, he wanted us to go. No one knew about our child or me until he died. There was a reason for keeping us hidden. So, there was no quarrel? There was no quarrel. Around what time on Tuesday did he die? Do you have any idea? I do not have an exact idea.
Kí ló dé tí ò ṣe sọ mí báyìí pé ọkọ òun bá prime boy jà? Òun ní kò sí quarrel. Wàá dẹ̀ sọ pé wẹ̀dẹ̀ àti quarrel o prime boy ló bá jà. Àbẹ́ ẹ̀ tí gẹ̀ẹ́tì nǹkan tí mò ń tra ara àbẹ́ mi nìkan mò ń gbọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
Akúkú gbọ́ irọ́ pọ̀.
À ń gbọ́ yín bọ̀ Láti. À ń gbọ́ yín. Sherry, bọ̀bọ̀ ìlú ṣe kiri lánàá.
It was in the afternoon. At what point did you inform the father-in-law? I did not inform him. Ever since I had my baby, my father-in-law had been picking fights with me. The day before I had my baby, my father-in-law came to give money to my siblings. That's how close we were. He was the first person I told when I was pregnant, but I didn't inform him about my husband's death for some reasons. So, you didn't inform him? I didn't inform him. My mother-in-law knew. The reason I didn't tell him is that when I had my baby, he insisted on burying the placenta. My husband refused, saying his father had many wives and could...
Àṣà iná gbọ́dísí wà tí ò fi pe bàbá ọkọ ẹ̀.
Pé tó náà bèrè placenta.
Ló ṣe wá pé bàbá ọkọ ẹ̀ pé kan ṣe ọmọ ẹ̀.
Exactly.
Olórí burúkú ni Wunmi.
Ṣé o lè fẹ́ bàbá ẹ̀?
Ṣé tí ẹ rí? Ó ti ṣùtà rẹ̀ lẹ́sẹ̀.
A ní analysis kìíní tá a bá gbọ́ ní 300 times ó dùn mọ́ mi. Ẹ bá mi credit Taylor Titus for this.
Yeah, credit go to Taylor Titus.
Yeah, credit go to Taylor Titus.
Right.
Ẹ jọ.
Àwọn
Ṣé ti gbọ́ nǹkan tó sọ?
kókó láti ń gbọ́ àtàná láti wà nú ẹ̀.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ibi tẹ́ máa mọ̀ pọ́ ọmọdé yìí, ó ti mastermind irọ́ òun àti irọ́ níjọ́ tó ń bọ̀ nílé ayé irọ́ ló wà
ẹ wo
nínú
reason why
placenta
tó fi
fún
pé
wọn.
bàbá ọkọ ẹ pé ọmọ ẹ kú ọ̀nà
ṣé
ìdúró
ọmọ tó ti
ìyàwó ló
ṣẹlẹ̀?
yẹ kó pé bàbá ẹ máa gbọ́ ìyàwó ló yẹ kó pé dáàdi ẹ máa bọ̀ o ìmọ́lẹ̀ yìí o ìmọ́lẹ̀ dáàdi ìmọ́lẹ̀ wà o ayé mi tèmi bá mi o ìmọ́lẹ̀ ibo lẹ ti rí irú fídíò yẹn lọ́dọ̀ Wunmi.
níbo instead kí ni ló lọ pè blessing.
àbí mo parọ́ ni ṣé mo parọ́ ṣé kò yẹ kí irú ẹ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ ni èèyàn ló kú kéèké ṣáàjì ẹ̀.
parọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹ parọ́ olórí ẹbí ojú Wunmi dájú ọmọ yẹn mi mọ́bí tán ti rí
ọ̀dájú gan ni.
ó ti pọ̀ jù.
tẹ̀bádùn àsọtúnṣe kan máa ń jà gbogbo gbàgbọ́ báwo ló máa parí ìjà.
tẹ́ bá fẹ́ kí n lọ ẹ̀yin lẹ dá mi dó tẹ́ bá pa màá bá yín jà sí o màá bá everybody jà o ẹ̀yin lẹ ẹ power tap ẹ̀ wọ́n ti restricted ẹ má kọ́ ní ọlọ́run mú wa ẹ̀mọ́ ọmọ ọlọ́run mú mi ẹ̀jọ̀ ẹ bá ń power tap kẹ̀dẹ̀ máa gift lọ kí gbogbo ẹ̀ tí traffic bá wà tí gbogbo yẹn bá ń ṣe wọn ò ní lè ráìdì flag tó ń flag yẹn bá a ṣe ń play kínní wọ́n ń ta wọ́n lára náà.
ọ̀dà láti o.
màá sá.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe pàtẹ́wọ́ ń sin yẹn pé kán power tap ẹ tún pàtẹ́wọ́ yẹn náà jẹ́ o ẹ jẹ́ kó dún. bọ̀dà láti ẹ̀ dá ó wá ń dún bí ìgbà tẹ́ ń ṣe kinní lọ́wọ́ ẹ power tap ẹ̀yin èèyàn ẹ jẹ́ power tap ẹ follow list.
Couldn't be allowed to bury the placenta. My father-in-law got mad at me, thinking I was the one who influenced my husband. He also used to bring different girls to our house on the island. One day, my mother-in-law came unannounced and found a girl in the room with him. She was very angry and told me I shouldn't allow such things in my matrimonial home. I didn't want to be in the middle of their issues, so I told my husband about it. I think the way my husband confronted his father was wrong. But that day, my father-in-law slept with the girl, and my mother-in-law slept downstairs. He felt I was the one who ordered my husband to confront him, which I never did. There was also an issue with the placenta. And after having my baby, my father-in-law stopped coming to the...
Money, and little bit of question in low way. Ó yẹ kán dá padà sórí question pé nǹkan tó ń béèrè kọ́ nìyẹn kí ló ṣe ọmọ yẹn nínú ilé tó dẹ̀ wá gbé ó kúrò lórí subject yẹn completely.
Odo so lọ sí track yẹn ó kúrò lórí track yẹn ó gbé wọn lọ síbòmí òun ló gbé wọn lọ ẹ̀rí pé òun ló ń drive òun ló dàbí pé òun ló wà in charge of the question and answer.
He intentionally tẹ́ bá gbọ́ nínú kinní olóhùn lòun put to Coroner Inquest together ṣe gbọ́ láti nígbà tí wọ́n ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní play ẹ̀ ó ní Coroner Inquest tọ̀dọ̀ wípé òun lòun orchestrate ó wà nínú kọ́tẹ́ play yìí tẹ́ bá bóyá láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ or something.
ẹ̀nà ó sọ̀nà yẹ mo gbọ́ ìtọ́jú ẹ̀ mo ṣe ní tẹ́yọ̀ bá gbọ́ ní ẹ̀mẹ́wàá ẹ̀rọ ẹ̀rí pọ́ìntì nínú ọ̀rọ̀ yìí.
She intentionally changing the subject. Tó ń gbé bàbá bóyá rò pé ìyẹn ló ń béèrè bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn bàbá gbóná
wá. ìṣègùn ẹbí tó mọ̀
ṣe pé guiltiness yẹn.
ẹ ṣe máa rí question tó sì máa béèrè lọ́wọ́ ẹ rí nǹkan tó ń dá ọ lóhùn.
Guiltiness yẹn is all over her. Guiltiness yẹn guiltiness yẹn is all over her. All over her.
Hello Ade.
Hello, Mr. Latif.
Tẹ́lẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ ni.
Yes.
Ẹyẹ sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ bá ti nẹ́fẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀.
Ẹ káàárọ̀ o, bí ọ̀sán dẹ̀ lẹ wà ní o, ẹ káàsán o.
Ìrọ̀lẹ́ la wà.
Ok, ẹ kú rọ̀lẹ́ o. Ẹ ṣeun o tẹ́ gbé mi gòkè lénìí. Mo ti máa ń try for so long. But I'm glad you brought me up today. That's okay. Mi gbọ́dọ̀ bínú sí yín olórúkọ kan náà ni wá. Abdulateef ló kọ tèmi náà. Okay, láàárọ̀ tẹ́ kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀, mo wo kílípù kan níbì kan, so mo wá sórí TikTok. Bí mo ṣe dé, ẹni tó máa sọ̀rọ̀ bí mo ṣe wọlé the same topic tí mo fẹ́ discuss ló náà discuss ló ń sọ̀rọ̀, so mo kàn then I went back to sleep because òru ni mo wà ń gbà yẹn. Okay, I just want us to use a critical thinking my tí mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí is a little bit different from what you are talking about now.
tó bá yẹ
Clip
pé
tí
bẹ́ẹ̀
mo
ni
wò
ká tó
yẹn
lẹ́tẹ̀ tètè sí gbà yẹn tó bá yẹ pé kì í ṣe rẹ̀ ká má
it's
lọ
still
sí tọ́tù.
related it's still related it's still related but clip tí mo wò yẹn clip Naira Marley ni tó ti ṣe interview pẹ̀lú ẹnìkan mi mọ̀ bóyá ó ti wà ń tà tipẹ́ but I just saw it today so ó wá discuss nípa Mohbad bí ẹni wọ́n ń bi léèrè relationship òun pẹ̀lú Mohbad pé kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ nǹkan báyẹn so ìgbà tí mo wá ń wo clip yẹn mo realize wípé problem tí ó kọ́kọ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ nípa Mohbad was he was suffering from PTSD, depression and some other behavioral disease due to n tí wọ́n ń ṣe fún bí wọ́n ṣe ń ná káàkiri bí kò ṣe gbádùn nínú ilé family ìyàwó ẹ̀ Naira Marley wá mention níbẹ̀ ó níyàwó Mohbad ó pé ó ní his grow call me ó ló pé òun ó lò sí ní Nàìjíríà ó ní Mohbad fẹ́ commit suicide nígbà yẹn ìgbà tó wá sọ yẹn
ìyẹn sórí lè ti pẹ́ àti kó mi tẹ̀ wá yẹn iṣẹ́ ìwé fídíò yẹn ni.
kẹrí fídíò tẹ lọ wò yẹn àti kọjá bẹ́ẹ̀ kí ló pa ọmọ yìí gangan nínú ilé ẹ̀.
bọ̀ ohun tí tèmi wá fẹ́ sọ níbẹ̀ ni wípé ó yẹ tí Naira Marley bá sọ̀rọ̀ further there is possibility 24-48 hours ṣé òun pẹ̀lú Ọmọwùmí ṣé wọ́n dìjọ sọ̀rọ̀ ṣé Ọmọwùmí contact ẹ̀ nígbà tó yẹ pé wọ́n ní contact tó máa ń pera wọn yẹn we might get sẹ́wọ̀n pé ó ní industry lord come and take your trophy what does she mean is it something that she discussed with Naira Marley ẹ mọ̀ Yorùbá ní ìwákùwà là ń wá nǹkan tí Naira Marley tán bá question Naira Marley ó possible kí Wunmi contact ẹ̀ kí ni wọ́n dìjọ sọ.
Naira Marley náà ṣe investigation ti tiẹ̀ lọ́wọ́.
bàbá wa Mr. Ade 1010.
yes.
nǹkan tẹ sọ nǹkan tó dáa ní ṣùgbọ́n Naira Marley bóyá ti wá wo show yìí ti bóyá ti wo spirit Mohbad ti pẹ́ ni o.
mo ti follow ẹ̀ ti pẹ́.
ó dàbí pé ẹ ti wà behind the lady.
every day more than 16 hours ni mo ń follow.
Mọ́mí Àdùfẹ́ ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn wá dàbí ìgbà tí a ti dé Àbújá tán ẹ̀ tí wọ́n fẹ́ dá wa padà sójú Odùbẹ́gà.
Oh, okay, I'm very sorry tó bá jẹ́ pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni I just think that way. Okay.
You have your right. nǹkan tá a kàn sọ ni pé ọ̀rọ̀ yìí iṣẹ́ níbi tẹ́wà yẹn kọ́rọ̀ inquest kankan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ nìyẹn ó ti wọ inquest kan ti fẹ́ẹ̀ parí kóòtù là ń dúró dè gbogbo ìtọ́ lọ sí
ọ̀dọ̀ Naira Marley ò tí sọ̀rọ̀ jáde náà kò sọ kankan.
wọ́n invite ẹ̀ náà wọ́n bọ̀
wọ́n invite ẹ̀ kò tí show up ni.
we show up ni
okay,
wọ́n ti invite.
let's see maybe when he comes something we will get some facts from
ẹ jẹ́ ká dó dìgbà tá a bá rí TCT Naira Marley náà.
inú ilé ẹ̀ ló ti pa inú ilé ẹ̀ the guy was saying
I absolutely agree pé inú ilé ẹ̀ ni wọ́n ti pa I absolutely agree.
gbogbo nǹkan kíkan tí wọ́n bá rò pọ̀ Naira Marley lẹ́sẹ̀ òun náà adébí alọ ṣàlàyé ara ẹ̀ tó bá jẹ́ pé.
ẹ jẹ́ àyànjú kiri náà.
òun ló pa Mohbad òun ni ẹ máa lè sísí kan tó ń bí ẹwọ́ pẹ́sà tó ń béèrè.
The house. On the day of the naming ceremony, he wanted to have his party in his house, but my husband told him he didn't have enough money for that. My father-in-law called my father and cursed him out. If my husband didn't give him money, he would call me and curse me. My husband told him there wasn't any money, and my father-in-law called me again, threatening me. The money someone gave me for that. My father...
olè burúkú ọmọ wọn ní pé ló pọkọ ẹnu ilé òun change topic òun change subject.
Law called my father and cursed him out. If my husband didn't give him money, he would call me and curse me. My husband told him there wasn't any money, and my father-in-law called me again, threatening me. The money someone gifted me for the naming ceremony, I sent to my father-in-law to calm him down. I told him not to be angry. I just got the money from someone. I want you to save your energy and time. The question I ask is why you didn't inform your father-in-law, and you said it's because you weren't close anymore? Yes, we stopped being close after I had Liam. Who informed your father-in-law? I think my mother-in-law did. The cut you said was minor was actually major, wasn't it? It was deep. It wasn't that deep. It was a cut, but not deep. Not a deep cut at all? No, it wasn't. In your house, do you have CCTV? Yes. Was there a CCTV recording of the events on Monday, the 11th of September? No. The CCTV cameras were not fixed. We had just moved to that house. It was only a week before my husband died that we even got the chairs for the parlor. The CCTV wasn't fixed before the incident. Because you moved to that house less than a week? No. We had moved 4 months ago. So the entire 4 month.
ṣé ẹ mọ ọ̀rọ̀ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ bí wọ́n béèrè lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ pé ṣé léyìn ní CCTV ó ní yes later ó wá rí pé òun ti sọ yes pé léyìn ní CCTV ẹ tún wo ibi tó divert wọn lọ lórí the same CCTV ó divert wọn kó kọ́ bá má béèrè CCTV yẹn ọ̀tọ̀ ní CCTV náà béèrè ọ̀tọ̀ ní kan tó fi dá ọ lóhùn.
tèmi wọ́n ní gbogbo incident tó ṣẹlẹ̀ níjọ́ Monday ṣèbó sọ pé yes ẹgbẹ́ mi tó ti sọ̀rọ̀ pé incident Monday so all those incidents that happen on Monday ó wà ní yes ṣùgbọ́n bá tẹ́wọ́ tọ́ lọ jókòó tó lò dáadáa á tún nílò olóyè burúkú ọmọ onírọ́ irọ́ pọ̀ tí ọmọ ajá kan ọmọdé yìí lọ free Nàìjíríà wọ́n máa ṣèdájọ́ ọwọ́ ìlú yẹn o tó bá jẹ́ kí wọ́n tí wọ́n jẹ́ kó lọ ẹ̀wọ̀n.
ẹjọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ Nigerian police ni àwọn náà gbà bọ́dé ẹjọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ bàbá bébì ló gbowó fún wọn ẹjọ́ ẹ̀kọ́.
àtàwọn àti bàbá bébì wọ́n máa jọ ṣẹ̀ sí.
The CCTV was not working. We were still trying to arrange the house.
ṣẹ́gbọ́ wọ́n ní is the CCTV not working only we are trying to arrange the house.
wọ́n ṣe ń tolé.
My husband didn't have money like people thought. The family knows.
My husband didn't have money as people thought.
Like people thought kò lówó kò ní kọ́bọ̀. ẹ̀yin lè dẹ̀ ń gbowó ẹ̀ wọ àtìyá Túndé àtìyẹ́ ẹ̀ dẹ̀ ń gbowó ẹ̀.
Mohbad olówó ẹ̀ yáwó lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀.
kò lówó ó dẹ̀ ra lé ilé ìtẹ̀yẹ̀ṣẹ̀ kó sí.
Mohbad olówó ra lẹ̀ ó ra acres of land kò dẹ̀ lówó lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀yin lẹ̀ ń gbowó ọwọ́ ẹ̀ kò Mohbad olówó lẹ̀ ń yáwó lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀.
ó tún ra
ṣẹ́yọ̀ tí
mọ́tò.
olówó lọ́wọ́ wọn yáwó lọ́wọ́ àná.
ó ra mọ́tò.
Latisneh Mohbad olówó ó dẹ̀ ń fún ìyá Túndé ní owó every 2 weeks 250,000. 250,000.
ibi àpá wọn sìn kọ́ wá máa gbà lọ́wọ́ mi.
Do you have a Twitter account? No. Are you on Instagram? Yes. I want to read a message that you authored. This nigga struggled to death. Too many things. Threatened. He has always lived in fear. Continuous fight everywhere he goes to. He has never been happy for a whole day. He was called a junkie, a mad person, mental issues. So the public will have another view about him. He is dead. At least you all won. Here's your trophy. You all made me a widow at 24 years. You wrote that? Who were you referring to? I was referring to a lot of people. My husband went through pain. He was dead before the real death came. He was never happy. The day he died, we talked about his oppressors, which is why he wanted me and our son to go to Canada. The day I wrote that, he had just died. When he was alive, they were always threatening him. A man named Micey, who was once his close friend, snitched on him and dragged him on social media several times. In June, Micey did a live video cursing my husband, calling him a drug addict, and making other accusations. My husband stopped going out. He was always indoors. I would spoon feed him like a baby, and he wouldn't eat. He didn't sleep. He overthought everything and was depressed. His
Abegbo.
Olóhùn kò fìdí ẹ̀ àdúrà ń bọ̀ ló wà.
Òun fìdí ẹ̀ like bí bébì.
Àdúrà ṣé wọ́n fìdí ẹ̀gbọ́n ẹ̀ rí?
The statement tó ṣe sọ́sọ́ ń bẹ̀ this nigga. This nigga.
Wọ́n máa so bíbù náà sí lọ́rùn kó bá má jà pòsáyà.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, àdúrà gbé mi Shedrack. Ṣé wọ́n fìdí ẹ̀gbọ́n ẹ̀ tó ń fi ṣíbí gbóúnjẹ sí lẹ́nu? Ọmọ yẹn ló máa fẹ́ pọ̀ gbólẹ̀ ẹnu kíchìn àrí fídíò ẹ̀ tí wàá tún gbé ọmọ àlè sí lẹ́yìn bó ṣe ń fa àmọ̀làmọ́ra. Ọmọ yẹn lọ play ṣẹ́nìkan ló gbé dání sórí wíṣẹ́ àlọ́ play orin tó lọ níbi tó ti lọ kọrin ni èdè bìfọ̀kẹ́ tó pàdánù. Àbí ẹni tó lòun fìdí ẹgbà wá ìyá Mohbad ń bolẹ̀ wà ọ̀nà fìdí ọmọ yín ṣé bó ṣe rí nìyẹn sọ̀rọ̀ ọmọ yín ò lè gbà wá kò lè gbẹ́sẹ̀ olóyè burúkú ọmọ àlè yìí.
ọba arọ tó tiẹ̀ já arọ ọmọ ọlọ́mọ
Ó
wọn
fìdí ara ẹ̀.
fìdí ẹ̀ fúnra rẹ̀ ló ń jẹun.
I will feed him like òun fìdí olóyè burúkú ó ti mú kólósìkò tó lọ sí
Pressers were always
Inquest.
after him, sometimes through fake accounts, threatening that they would kill him. That's why I wrote those things. I was just typing out of pain. Everything my husband said before he died was coming back to me, and I put it on social media. Certainly. Here's the rest of the transcript. You wrote that message out of pain?
Yes.
Yes, I wrote it out of pain. My husband went through a lot. You talked about a knife cut that you sustained on your hand. Can you show the court? Witness shows the court her hand.
ibẹ̀ láti dé yo aṣọ náà ní kóòtù lọ́wọ́ ibẹ̀ láti dé yo kẹ́ máa listing o.
How long was the cut? It wasn't deep, just a surface cut.
One how long?
I am putting it to you that the cut was deeper than you're saying. Do you agree? No, it wasn't deep. How did you treat the cut? I didn't go to the hospital. I just bandaged it at home. Did you take any pictures of the cut? No. Have you ever had to defend yourself physically from your husband? No, I never had to defend myself. We were always in love and didn't fight physically. Was there ever a time you thought your husband was mentally unstable?
tó o bá mọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀dì mú dáadáa Latisneh wà ní court lọ́wọ́
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
ó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ń bí dáadáa
Yes.
tó bá stab èèyàn tó o mọ bó ṣe ń lo weapon for the first time wà ní court lọ́wọ́ ní ṣáá ni.
Anyway, kí ni kan ni mo fẹ́ kọ́ mọ̀ tá à ń sọ tàbí tí wọ́n máa tẹnu mọ́ tí wọ́n bá gbé ọlọ́jẹ́ kí ní lọ kọ́tù lágbára ọlọ́run ọlọ́jẹ́ kí wọ́n gbé lọ kí kọ́ máa fi tó Coroner àbí Toyota Inquest àbí kí ni ká ti pè wọ́n kọ́ máa fi kọ́ alómi ọbẹ̀ jẹ́
Mitsubishi Inquest ni.
yà mí lẹ́nu Toyota Inquest whatever tó ń pera wọn because wọ́n ti lo mọ́dà ni wọ́n ti lọ́dún kan bẹ̀ báyìí wọ́n tún continue ìyẹn náà ti tó.
Adúfẹ́.
Yes, I purposely said that. Kọ́lọ́ wájú gbégbé àlàtí rẹ̀rìn Toyota
bẹ́ẹ̀
Inquest.
ṣùgbọ́n máa ń pè wá fún jury kìíní court bíbá
Jury duty.
most of àwọn tó bá jẹ́ stabbing court yẹn náà máa fi ń mú mọ̀ pé àwọn
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni,
lọ stab
ní mo
court
ti sọ,
ọwọ́ wọn
bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
yẹn kò sí ni wọ́n máa ń ní court lọ́wọ́ sẹ̀ kò sí ni ìyẹn náà máa fi ń mú wọn.
Yes.
All right. Ẹyọ ti fẹ́.
No, I never thought that. He was going through a lot, but he wasn't mentally unstable. You mentioned some of the struggles he faced. Can you tell the court more about that?
Hey.
He was depressed and had many enemies. People he thought were his friends betrayed him. He was constantly receiving threats, and he didn't trust people easily anymore. He wanted to leave the country for our safety, but we didn't have enough money to do that. He was always overthinking, and that led to him being withdrawn. Did you think he needed professional help for his mental state? Yes, we talked about it. But he didn't want to go to therapy. He thought he could handle it on his own. Was he using any drugs? No, he wasn't. He was wrongly labeled a drug addict by people trying to bring him down, but he wasn't using drugs.
Ṣé
You
nǹkan tó
mentioned
pa á
that he
nìyẹn?
spoon-fed you because he was so weak. How long was he like that before his death? It wasn't constant. It was on and off. Sometimes he would be fine, and other times he would just stay in bed, not wanting to do anything. The last few weeks were especially hard for him, though. Did he ever talk about harming himself? No, never. What about harming others? No, he wasn't violent. He just kept to himself. You testified earlier that there was no CCTV recording of the events because the cameras were not fixed yet. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, that's correct.
Ṣé kó sáré dáhùn
How
bẹ́ẹ̀?
long had it been since you moved into the house?
Lórí burúkú
We
ọmọ.
moved about 4 months ago, but we were still settling in. My husband was trying to fix everything up, but we didn't have enough money. Finally, after the incident, what did you do? I was in shock. I couldn't believe it. I called my mom and my sister. I didn't know what to do. I was devastated. Thank you for your answers. That will be all for now. With this, the cross-examination comes to an end. This is the complete exchange from the proceedings.
I love the way he
Finally,
put it.
after the incident, what did you do? I was in shock. I couldn't believe it. I called my mom and my sister. I didn't know what to do. I was devastated. Did you call the police?
No, I didn't call the police.
Karimo ṣàṣìn bí gbà tí
Karimo àti yẹn the first person tó kọ́kọ́ pè ṣe rí pé Karimo ò purọ́.
ṣé Karimo sì mẹ́gbà tí wọ́n ní kọdù kìíní náà.
I wasn't thinking straight. My sister and mom helped me, and eventually the authorities were contacted. You've told the court that this whole situation has caused you deep pain. Is that right? Yes, that's correct. That will be all for now. Thank you.
Tọ́ òun rẹ ti gbọ́ yẹn máa máa fi ṣe ṣó lójoojúmọ́ ni ó dùn
ẹ̀yin màjá ní ìdẹ̀lẹ̀ ojúmọ́.
ẹ káàsán gbọ́dọ̀ láti ẹ káàsán sá sísá mi ẹ káàsán àǹtí láìtàn ẹ káàsán gbogbo
àwọn wà bí good morning.
good morning ẹ káàárọ̀ Ṣadé ló sọ̀rọ̀ Fọlá.
ará àdúgbò mi.
ẹ ra mọ ẹ mọ nǹkan tí mo rò ṣé mo pé tó bá jẹ́ pé àwọn ọlọ́pàá yẹn ṣiṣẹ́ dáadáa ni ṣé mo pé Wunmi yóò smart ṣá ẹni pé kò smart ni ṣé mo òun ló gọ̀ jù wọ́n ń béèrè one question lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ even ní Amẹ́ríkà yìí wọ́n máa sọ fún ẹ pé tí wọ́n bá béèrè one question question tó bá bí ẹni kò dáhùn kò dẹ̀ dákẹ́ òun wọnú ọ̀rọ̀ tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n lè máa fi gbé lọ sí gbogbo everywhere tí kìíní
ẹ̀ ni wọ́n ṣe máa ń kọ́ṣọ́ ìtorí ẹ̀ lọ ṣe máa àǹtí Fọlá o ìtorí ẹ̀ lọ ṣe jẹ́ pé wọ́n ní kó sọ béèrè question kan kò dáká àbí kí lẹ sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni ọgbẹ́ ló máa ẹ̀gbọ́n tún sọ fún pé question tó ń bí ẹ̀ ló fẹ́ kó sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí.
ẹ máa gbọ́ torí nǹkan tó bá sọ ló máa lò against ẹ̀ ń court of law bíi tẹ́lẹ̀ yìí.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni
tó bá pọ́lọ́pàá ṣiṣẹ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe sọ tó bá pọ́lọ́pàá ṣiṣẹ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe sọ ó yẹ kó lo eléyìí against ẹ̀ ó yẹ kó lo against ẹ̀ in the court of law.
tí wàá mọ nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ṣé ẹni tá a bá lọ sí immigration lọ́ọ̀yà wa máa sọ fún wa pé tó bá bí ẹ pé báwo ni wà á tọkọ ẹ ṣe pàdé ra wa birthday party ó tán má sọ ju bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ tó bá ti ń wọnú ẹ̀ àwa gbóúnjẹ lọ àwa débẹ̀ mo kéèyàn kan ọmọ máa wọnú ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ ni wọ́n á tún máa béèrè question mi ọ rí pé eléyìí sì kò smart tó má béèrè nǹkan kan lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ á dáhùn nǹkan mi á wọnú ẹ̀ lọ àròjọ lọ ibi tó ti ń rojọ́ yẹn ó yẹ kó máa máwọn point kankan tó ti máa fi béèrè lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀.
kò fẹ́ sòótọ́ nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀.
èmi ò mọ wáyé táwọn èèyàn sọ pé Wunmi is smart eléyìí ò smart rárá àwọn ọlọ́pàá yẹn ò good ni.
ọlọ́pàá ò ṣiṣẹ́ lórí ni ọlọ́pàá ò kò sí lórí.
mọ̀mọ́ ẹnikẹ́ni tó jẹ́ bàbá bébì àwọn náà náà wá díẹ̀ kọ́ máa wọ̀rí àṣírí gbọ́n máa tún.
ìgbà orí mi orí dẹ̀ ń ta mi pé ewu ilé tó ń sọ pé smart òun smart Wunmi ó smart gan.
kéèsì ló sì jù láéláé.
táwọn ọlọ́pàá tó ti báyìí.
ọlọ́pàá tó ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ lánàá ó máa yanjú kéèsì ọlọ́pàá tó ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ lánàá ó máa yanjú kéèsì.
security officer bíbá yanjú kéèsì.
àwọn Ìyábọ̀ Òjó àwọn failed actress ojoojúmọ́ náà náà fún àwọn
security officer lọ́hùn-ún tó bá gbé kéèsì déwájú àwọn ọlọ́dẹ máa yanjú kéèsì.
ọlọ́dẹ dùn ẹ̀ àwọn onífìjìláńtẹ̀ gan lè yanjú ẹ̀.
Oh no,
no. They are just playing to the gallery.
àwọn tó kọ́kọ́ sí máa ń tó
ìfẹ́ tí wọ́n mọ nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ṣe rí àpá tó rí yẹ kó take picture bẹ́ẹ̀ lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀.
ìgbà mi lẹ́nu wọn fi lẹ̀ wọ́n bèrè question ó ṣe ní topic. wọ́n bèrè question ó ṣe ní topic.
wọ́n bèrè question lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ wọ́n sọ pé èèyàn kan gbóbìnrin wá sílé
bó ṣe dápá yẹn ẹ máa gbọ́ ó yẹ kí lọ́ọ̀yà sọ pé my lord ìyẹjọ́ ṣáà lè take picture àpá ọmọ yìí.
ẹ wo ẹ bá lọ wo question
ó yẹ kó ṣe yẹn nu court kan take a picture yẹn.
Ọlọ́run ó dùn mí o.
ó ní mo sọ fún ẹ báwọn tó bá jẹ́ first time tó bá stab èèyàn sẹ́ẹ̀ wọn lè mú ọ̀bẹ yẹn dání dáadáa àwọn máa fi ṣera wọn máa ní court ni.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni wọn máa ní ó wà lára ẹ bẹ́ẹ̀.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ìwọ tó bá ti gbó sínú ẹ̀ tó jẹ́ pé ó ti ń stab tipẹ́tipẹ́ ó ti mọ̀ pé tóun bá kọ̀ tara àwọn ibi tó máa ti mú òun yóò máa mú wọn bó ṣe máa mú ọ̀dọ̀bẹ yẹn.
olórí burúkú ọmọ àlè apààyàn.
ìyẹn mi pé lóòótọ́ lọmọdé yìí stab Mohbad ni òbí tó. ìyá Túndé yẹn sọ pé ó yára
ó yáwọ́
ó yáwọ́.
gbọ́bẹ̀ lọ́mọ
tó bá ṣe pé bí Amẹ́ríkà ni àwọn law enforcement officer tó
America
bá
kè.
tí egbò yẹn bá ti san, they can still determine what kind of wound it
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni
is.
wọ́n
When
máa
she
wọ yẹ
They
sustained,
can
tí
still
kò fi ọbẹ̀
determine
gbọ́ wọn
it.
bẹ̀.
They will just look at it and tell you this is the kind of the wound, and they can even tell you how deep
Bọ́lá
it
Ṣadé
was
tẹ́ bá fẹ́
nígbà
dá sí ogun lọ.
tó bá parí tán.
Bọ́lá Ṣadé.
àwọn legal team yín wá parọ́ kan pé
Ẹ bá power tap.
ọ̀rọ̀ social
Power
media
tap.
kan.
Power tap.
lọ́rọ̀ social
Bẹ́ẹ̀
media
Ẹ
kí
kárí
social media
like
kọ́ ló
rẹ̀.
yẹ kó wọn débi tó
Ìfọ̀tẹ̀
wà.
tí ń parọ́. Èmi ní
Wunmi
Nàìjíríà ṣe máa lọ sórí
àti
YouTube
Ìyábọ̀ wọ́n ti fún àwọn
lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan.
ọlọ́pàá yẹn lówó.
Ẹ máa lọ learn. Orí YouTube mo ti rí bọ̀bọ́ kan tó fẹ́ pa bèbí yẹn, ó strangle her to death. Bèbí yẹn jẹ yín mọ́ ẹsẹ̀. Eyín àpá ẹsẹ̀ náà fi mọ̀ pé òun ló pa. Òye gbọ́ ẹsẹ̀ yẹn náà fi
Because
mú.
of fingerprint máa wà ń bẹ̀.
Náà fi mú, ó jẹ yín mọ́ ẹsẹ̀ yẹn.
Amẹ́ríkà tá a wà yìí tẹ́ bá ń wo first 48 hours wọ́n máa tọ́ bá wá tí wọ́n bá pa èèyàn tó bá ṣe wá èèyàn tó pa wọ́n máa lẹ kíníkíní ní akọ nọ́mbà síbẹ̀ ká ní kò pè nǹkan tó bá mọ̀ wọ́n máa fún ẹ nígbà wọ́n máa fún ẹ láwo àwọn èèyàn wọ́n máa tọ̀nà èèyàn yìí nìgan o wọ́n dẹ̀ máa protect source wọn.
ṣẹ́ni bó ṣe wà yẹn sísá mi tó bá jẹ́ pé wọ́n kàn aláwọ̀ èèyàn méjì nínú ilé yẹn kó kàn interrogate wọn lásán wọ́n kàn mú American kan kó interrogate wọn lásán tó bá dé level kan máa sunkún báyìí kan máa sọ pé bàbá ìlú ṣẹlẹ̀ ni.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni
wọ́n máa sunkún ni.
wọ́n máa ké ní
wọ́n á
kí
lè
wọ́n sọ
lo
pé nǹkan
2
báyìí ló
hours tí
ṣẹlẹ̀.
wọ́n á fi jẹ́wọ́.
wọ́n máa fi jẹ́wọ́.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni
Wọ́n ti ní ẹ̀mú lifestyle. Wọ́n ní lifestyle bébì yóò máa ké báyìí wọ́n máa kà bòròbòròbòrò ní lifestyle. Wọ́n ní ẹ̀mú
wọ́n máa fi mú wọn mọ́lẹ̀ nílùú tá à ń gbé yìí.
ó ní pé wọ́n máa gbé wọn wọlé wọ́n máa lọ máa kọ́kọ́ máa wò wọ́n nù mírọ̀ náà wọ́n á kọ́ máa wò wọ́n nù
body language gbogbo ẹ̀.
àwọn onírẹ́ nìkan kan wọ́n máa rẹ́rìn.
àdá fún yín bọ́dí tẹ́ bá
wọ́n
lọ́wọ́
máa
kí
wọlé
yẹn.
báyìí tó máa jókòó ti báyìí.
mo máa follow next 48 hours yẹn gbà yẹn nígbà tí mo ti
tó
mú
tutù
báyìí.
mama ẹ máa wo lifetime ẹ bá wo lifetime ẹ máa lóríṣiríṣi.
ìyá oríṣiríṣi níbẹ̀.
tó jẹ́ pé tó bá mú ẹni tó commit crime yẹn àwọn máa kọ́ síta ni pé tó bá wá tí wọ́n bá rí káwá lọ lẹ́kì ní káàkiri láti kẹ́ pé nọ́mbà bá
bá
báyìí.
ní information kò pè é.
ẹ pé nọ́mbà bá báyìí wọ́n máa ṣó nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ iná báyìí ó kú nígbà báyìí wọ́n wà nígbà báyìí kankan.
Àwọn ọ̀dọ́ máa ń pè. Gẹ́ẹ̀ tó pọkọ ẹ̀ ní Florida tó rán ọ̀yàn pé kó wá pọkọ ẹ̀ tó ti torí ẹ̀ mọ́mọ́ jáde. Ìgbà tó máa dé ṣe bí ẹsẹ̀ ń bẹ̀ ẹjọ́ body language làwọn ọlọ́pàá yẹn ti mọ̀ pé òun ló ṣe. Lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ ń bẹ̀ wọ́n ti mọ̀ pé òun ló ṣe.
olórúkọ ọmọ ilé iṣẹ́ ìyá wọn kiri ó ṣe wà
ní yíyá yẹn kí lorúkọ ẹ̀ gẹ́ òyìnbó yẹn tó pa ọkọ ẹ̀.
ṣé kò ṣe Peterson.
a ti tó bíi 7 years nísìnyí àbí.
ṣé kò ṣe ti Peterson.
no lady tó pa ọkọ ẹ̀ tó lọ́mọ kan ní Florida kéèsì yẹn is a national issue nígbà yẹn.
mi ti ẹ̀rọ
mo tiẹ̀ ti gbàgbé orúkọ ẹ̀.
Thank you, San what? Thank you very much. San Francis or San what? Thank you for sending sending gifts to the host.
San Francisco.
Okay, Francisco.
Jẹ́ ń ṣe fracas díẹ̀ kí n tó lọ. Àwọn kọ́líìgì mi ti ń jà nù fracas. Mo ń bọ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ń ṣe fracas díẹ̀.
Bọ́dá Láti. San Francisco sending you gifts.
Thank you very much, San Francisco. Mo dáràn.
Onílé San Fran ẹbí máa ṣe yẹ̀yẹ́ ni o San Francis lélẹ́yìí o kì í ṣe San Francisco.
Ẹ kò tán èmi ò rí kó orúkọ yẹn ò parí tán bíbá yìí ní San Fran ló
débi. Francis, thank you for the gift. May God continue to enrich your pocket. In the name of justice, you shall never go down. You will go up. Ẹ máa gbọ́.
Thank you, San Francis.
The ground.
Ẹ máa gbọ́. Òṣàlóhùn Adbẹ́fẹ́. Ó ti gbà pé àbúrò mi ni èmi ló ń ṣèdì ló ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí. Èmi ó mọ̀ pé ẹ máa gbọ́ ọ tó sọ. Ó ń jà mo ṣáà wò pé kí ló dé tí ó ṣá. Àmì tí Àbẹ̀fẹ́ tó fi ṣerú iṣẹ́ ṣó yìí.
I climbed the ladder from the ground and I climbed to where I am now. I'm not where I want to be. I'm still aiming to go higher. I still have my ambitions that I'm chasing. I'm still studying. I still have kids that I'm raising. Now, one of the reasons that I made the decision to take a step back from all of this is because I just feel like this is not a space where I want people to see me. A very good example that I'll give you guys, because it's worthy of mention, is, this man called Latisneh. who I have never had an issue with. We were on Facebook together. Everybody that knows me on Facebook knows that I will maintain my level. I will never cross my boundaries. I will never come and dictate to anybody or tell anybody, what to do and what not to do. But, during the course of Justice for Mohbad, this person used the stage, even though I heard a part where he said, no, nobody should abuse her, if anybody should abuse her, friend. But on that page, despicable things were said, not just to me, but to our family. Not that it is important, but I just wanted to highlight that this is what this social media will do to you. Social media will make you will make you level down to people who are beneath you. And I'm talking about the likes of Ayofe, who I'm telling you right now, everything that I'm saying here in English, she cannot comprehend. This is what Justice for Mohbad has done. Justice for Mohbad has brought us both to that level where anybody will throw words at anybody, because again, we're all here, we're all officials, so we're all on the same level. So you get what I mean? So again, for me, I just looking at some of the people that I met on Justice for Mohbad, some of the people that I've had the opportunity to engage with.
I don't know, kilo fa sobui. KSA, do you know anything about it?
Latisneh.
Bọ̀dá Láti, gẹ́ẹ̀yẹ̀ ò lọ́pọlọ, ṣérú àwọn èèyàn báyẹn lè máa bá ta yín ni. Ó fẹ́ fi yín gba star ni jàre, ó fẹ́ fi yín ní follower ni, ṣẹ́yìn ò mọ̀ ni. Ó fẹ́ fi yín ní follower ni, kó lọ bèrè lọ́ọ̀yà Ìsàbọ̀, àwọn tí yín ni, àwọn tẹ́ ní bait pẹ̀lú nìyẹn.
Hold on, one by one. Kí lẹ wí sí?
Tẹ́ bá fẹ́ mọ nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ fún ẹ lọ sórí Láyọ̀
mi kan náà.
Láyọ̀ kan náà, ẹ lọ sórí ẹ mọ nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀, wọn ọjà ẹ kàn lọ sọ́dọ̀ Láyọ̀, ẹ lọ wo details.
Uncle Láti ó dàbí pé kò fẹ́ ṣe kíní kò fẹ́ tẹ̀lé Wunmi mọ́ wọn àtòsà.
Ọ̀dọ̀ ìgbẹ́ tí ó bá tẹ̀lé Wunmi mọ́, ó release fídíò kan lánàá tó ń bú tó ní Yomi Fabiyi máa báṣẹ́ rẹ lọ, Yomi Fabiyi máa báṣẹ́ rẹ lọ, iṣẹ́ rẹ dá wà lọ́rùn Yomi Fabiyi.
Wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe taratara mọ́, Kẹ̀rímọ́ ti gbé wọn pé àkó gbọ́dọ̀ rẹ̀ yín ẹ mọ́ ṣe lọ òun àtòsà, wọ́n ti withdraw. So gbogbo kan mi ní.
Ẹjọ́ àbúrò mi Kàrímọ́ ṣé tí ẹ bá gbúrò ẹ̀ bó o ní.
Kàrímọ́ ta láàyè, where are you?
So wọ́n wá mímí kí Kẹ̀rímọ́ àtòsà.
Ó ṣe ṣó lálẹ́ àná, Bọ̀dá Láti, ó ṣe ṣó lálẹ́ àná.
Ṣé ń gbọ́ mi? Wọ́n mímí kí Kàrímọ́, so wọn kàn fẹ́ ṣe mọ́ gbogbo tó ń ṣe wọn kàn yọ ẹ̀kọ́ kan wọn múra bó ṣe ń dúró ti tẹ́lẹ̀ mọ́.
Àwọn tí ń jà náà nígbà tó fi má bẹ́ẹ̀ fẹ́ àtòṣà ń jà báyìí tó ti dé orí fracas.
Wọ́n jà, wọ́n mímí kí Kẹ̀rímọ́ ni àwọn méjèèjì tó ń kó ẹ̀sọ́ sí.
Wọ́n jà ní
ṣó tí Kàrímọ́ ṣe lánàá nìyẹn Latisneh, ó wà lára ṣó tó ṣe lánàá.
Latisneh wọn jà.
Wọ́n mímí kí ẹ̀ ní.
Ọ̀dọ̀ Láyọ̀ ẹ máa rí ní tó ṣẹlẹ̀.
Láyọ̀ àrí ti gbé jáde.
Agbègbè mi dọ́dọ̀ Láyọ̀. Update ni Láyọ̀ máa fi báyé wọn jẹ́. Ẹ wò, ẹ jẹ́ mi ì rí fídíò mi. Ẹ wò, ẹ jẹ́ kí n máa lọ. Bí bá dọ̀la náà, mo ń lọ bí iṣẹ́.
Ẹ ti gbìyànjú.
Ń lọ bí iṣẹ́. Ó ń fẹ́ rẹ̀ mí gan. Ẹnu mi ò gbé fúkẹ́.
Ẹ lọ wá kan lo kẹ́ tó lọ o. Ẹ gbọ́, ẹ lọ wá kan lo kẹ́ tó lọ ṣiṣẹ́.
Àbàdà ní ẹ̀lú fún mo dá kẹ́kẹ́ ló ti wá kò lè rẹ̀yìn láíláí.
Àwọn táwa ló máa rẹ̀.
Kò lè rẹ̀ Ìbàdàn o, kò rẹ̀ wá rí o.
Èmi ò ṣe Ìbàdàn, Ọlọ́run jẹ́ ń jẹ́ Ìbàdàn láyé.
Ọlọ́run Ìbàdàn kẹ̀.
Èmi tẹ̀ wá fẹ́ claim báyìí, orí ìlú méjì mo ti wá o, ìlú mẹ́ta gan mo tún jọ
kí Ìbàdàn ṣe fún yín o.
Ṣé kò ní kí n sọ ní
nínú population ọmọ àlè tó wà Nàìjíríà, Ìbàdàn ní 75% wà. Àwọn Ìbàdàn tí àwọn òun lójú tí wọ́n lè bímọ fún bàbá ọkọ wọn.
Really?
Yes. And I quote, I said it and I quote. Wọ́n lè bímọ fún bàbá ọkọ wọn.
Ìtorí Yomi dálẹ̀ ní orí Yomi àpáàtì ló dá gbélé ilẹ̀ o.
Ìbàdàn ló máa gbọ́ pé wọ́n ń change ọkọ láàrin 24 hours. Ó máa gbọ́, ìyá Jídé mi sí lọ́dọ̀ ọkọ mi àárọ̀ mo ti bọ́ sọ́dọ̀ ọkọ mi alẹ́ o.
àmì rèṣù ká má rí.
Population palẹ̀ tó wà Nàìjíríà 75% Ìbàdàn ló ti generate.
Ìlọrin ni o, Ìlọrin kó Ìlọrin sì kó 75.
Ìlọrin yẹn.
Ìlọrin.
Àwọn Ìlọrin tó lọ sọ pé tẹ́ lọ ṣe mistake kan ní Ìlọrin kì í ṣe ìlú fìtínà, ìlú wàhálà. Ìlú Ìlọrin kì í ṣe ìlú fìtínà, ipá bá ìlú wàhálà gidi, bàtà wàhálà.
Fìtínà burúkú ni wọ́n láyé wọn.
Bí àwọn Ìlọrin gbà torí ọmọ sípò ń fẹ́ lọ ṣe kínní òun máa ní rédíò ní Ìlọrin wọ́n ní ó mọ̀ wá o kọ́mọ kò wá o ọmọ.
Ẹnà wọ́n lè padà ni wọ́n ní kó má gbé ibi tó ṣe ń bàdàn yẹn kó má gbé wá lọ́rin.
Really? Why?
Ọmọ àlè tó wà bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n fẹ́ káṣírí tù. Tí bàbá Tinubu bá tẹ̀ fẹ́ ṣe dáadáa kọ́ ṣe DNA test ní buy one take one free.
Wọ́n ṣe ní free pé tá a ti bímọ yéé wọ́n máa sá ni o.
Wọ́n tí ẹ lè ṣe free nítorí facility tó máa lò kọ́kọ́ ṣe buy one take one free tó bá kọ́ ọmọ méjì wàá fi sanwó ẹyọ kan.
Olórí ẹbí lẹ wá ń bú Ìbàdàn ok ọmọ àlè náà pọ̀ nílọrin ok èwo ló wá pọ̀ jù ṣé tí Ìbàdàn ni àbí tí Ìlọrin ló pọ̀ jù olórí ẹbí.
Wọ́n ní Ìbàdàn.
Ìbàdàn ni o.
Ìlọrin yẹn ni ti Ìlọrin.
Ìbàdàn try o eléyìí tí bọ̀dá láti sọ lẹ́ǹkan.
Ẹ máa gbọ́ ṣẹ́rí ti Ìlọrin àwọn àfáà yẹn lè kó wọ́n lè fọ ọkànjú àkànfẹ́yàwó mẹ́jọ.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Fẹ́yàwó mẹ́jọ náà fẹ́ bá sùn láì ṣe pé wọ́n ní sex problem. Ìmí wọ́n kàn fẹ́ sílé wọn ò fọwọ́ kàn for more than 6 months ìyá kẹ̀dẹ̀rẹ̀ ó ń dọ́gbọ́n sí i lọ́dọ̀ àwọn ọmọlé kéwú.
Ó ń dọ́gbọ́n sí láàrin ìgboro.
Láàrin àwọn ọmọlé kéwú gan ló ti ń yí mọ́ ló ti fi jó. Wọ́n máa fọ ọ̀kànjú àbáyé náà máa fi kó ìyàwó jọ ẹgbẹ́ àfáà tí òjú jájá lábàáyé lọ ìyàwó 4 ló ní ìyàwó 5. Tí ò ṣe pé èèyàn ní sex yìí ní fò lèèyàn ní fò ló máa fẹ́ ìyàwó 5 ló máa satisfy ìyàwó 5. Ṣé bí òbò náà kan láǹdó yìí ni ṣáwó òdóbò rí ni.
Yà mí lẹ́nu.
Ṣé wọ́n ṣe ní kéèyàn mú obìnrin 5 kó wó lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà nìyẹn ni. Ṣé mo parọ́ ni?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni à. Ó lágbára.
Ìyẹn ní ti Ìbàdàn ìyẹn ní ti Ìlọrin àfáà kò àfáà tí ò ju ọmọ 32 years lọ ẹ̀gbọ́n pé níyàwó 5.
Àwọn olóburúkú Yíbò wọ́n sọ pé ní gbogbo Nàìjíríà pàwọ́ Yorùbá ìpè tó bá ní kó ṣe DNA pé Yorùbá ti yí pọ̀ díẹ̀ o ìpè ẹ̀yà di o.
Ìbàdàn yẹn ló jẹ́ kán nèlì Yorùbá Ìbàdàn tí
wọ́n nílẹ̀ Yorùbá kọ́lá bad.
Àṣírí tó líyọmí ń tú nìbàdàn yẹn ló jẹ́ kán rò pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ní gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá jẹ́ ọ̀ mọ̀ pé Ìbàdàn nìyẹn mọ Ìlọrin yẹn.
Ìbàdàn yẹn bad kí ló dé.
Ìbàdàn wọn à ní wọn ibi tí Ìbàdàn bá dìtẹ̀ wọn á bímọ fún bàbá ọkọ wọn.
Ibẹ̀ ni mo ti rí oko ọkọlẹ̀ lọ́dún kan kó tó pọ́dún ó ti lọ́mọ lọ́wọ́.
Ẹ wo sítórì Sùdíà tó tún bá ọkọ jiyàn pé òun kọ́ ló lọ́mọ pé ọ̀tọ̀ lẹ́ni tó lọ́mọ láì ṣe DNA test tó dẹ̀ dá lójú tí Sùdíà dẹ̀ sọ pé kì í ṣèwọ ló lọ́mọ tó kọ́ dẹ̀ sọ pé èmi mo lọ́mọ tó yẹ ká máa ágìwù ni.
Mo lẹ́yìn Ìbàdàn.
Ẹ mọ̀ pé gáàpù tó wà láàrin wọn kò yàtọ̀ okó ń lé ọkọ̀ kan o tí lóṣù 2 o ti sáré ré mọ́ mi ìmí báyìí ó fẹ́ fọkọ́lẹ̀ o kó tó kú òní ọkọ̀ yẹn á dẹ̀ ti mọ ré mọ́ mi. Tó bá wá lóyún èyí tó wà nílẹ̀
ọ̀rọ̀ pèsè ọ̀gán lé oníọ̀lẹ̀ ibi olè gbé ń jàre oníhun.
Níbo ni Wùmí ti wá o torí Wùmí náà ti ṣe DNA o ọmọ àlè lọ níbo ni Wùmí ti wá ń bẹ̀ o ṣé Ìbàdàn ló ti wá ní àbí Ìlọrin. Kò nílò àyànfẹ́ ní kò ní.
Ẹ̀tẹ́ ló máa fi ń sọ fún wọn. Olórí burúkú aláyé polúkúlù mùsùn olúbò jíjóná ó lójútì oríṣiríṣi ẹ̀dá ìlú láyé ẹ̀ ti polúkúlù mùsùn tọmọtọmọ ẹ̀ láyé ẹ̀ bàjẹ́. Ó lè máa rí bóun bá yé èèyàn jẹ ní tọmọtọmọ ẹ̀ láyé ẹ̀ bàjẹ́.
Agboolé fracas mo wà yẹn mo ti kó bí mo ti kó justice.
Ẹ ti lọ visit fracas.
Ìfẹ́lẹ́ ti lọ ní olórí ẹbí. Ìfẹ́lẹ́ ti lọ sí ni.
Mo ti ń lọ.
Wow, tired.
Ẹ̀yin náà tired.
Má lọ wẹ̀ sí.
Kí n lọ lògùn. Bóyá bá ló fẹ́ ṣe wọn ni bóyá gbogbo bá jiná tó tán tiẹ̀ ń kó lómi.
Ẹ̀yà lògùn ó wọ̀n ní ti ẹ̀yà lògùn kọjá dákẹ́rin last.
Gbogbo ẹ̀yin fáǹsì bọ́dá láti ẹ ṣé o gbogbo ẹ̀yin panelists. Ẹ ṣé o.
Bọ́lá àti kẹ́yà wá ògùn kóòdù lókè tó lọ o.
Yes sir.
wọ́n ló ṣe jù.
Kẹ mú tí tó gbóná kẹ gbé lura.
A ríra lọ́la nìyẹn, ó dàárọ̀ sá o.
Onílé Ọlọ́run ó kó àdúró tì mí, ojú òní tiẹ̀. Oníkúwọ̀ ni wọ́n níjọ́ ọ̀pọ̀ ẹ̀yẹ pẹ̀lú
onílé ọlọ́nà gbogbo ẹ̀ ló ní onílé òtún lọ́nà.
Ó tún ní gbogbo ẹ̀.
Àmì ò mọ́ mi.
Thank you so much ojoojúmọ́.
Àwọn gan ti mọ̀yàn, wọ́n ti popular lọ́jọ́ Coroner Inquest. Onílé ti Latisneh, onílé ti Latisneh náà júwe ara wọn ní ẹ̀yà ó ti pọ̀, ó pọ̀ fún onílé tí wọ́n.
Àbí o.
Onílé náà gift.
KSA, thank you ma. Ẹ ṣé gan ni ma. Ó dàárọ̀ ma.
Ó dàárọ̀.
Yes sir.
Bye onílé.
Ó dàbọ̀. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin fáǹsì yín o. Ẹ follow page kẹ́ tó lọ.